Let's start to look at CSS in a little bit more detail. In this tutorial, I'll be doing a little bit of CSS typography to make the web page we've got so far look a little bit nicer. So CSS is all about choosing or selecting HTML elements that we can then create style rules for to change their appearance. So let's have a little look in our HTML file. We'll find in here the body element. Now the body element, as we can see, contains all the content. So what we can do with this is apply a style rule to the body element to affect all content. So in the CSS file, I want to create a selector for the body element with a pair of curly braces, and I'm ready to start creating styles. So the first style rule I want to set is the font family. So I'll start typing in font, choose font family from the list, and type in the font that I want. I'm using Arial and backing that up with sans serif. So I can save that, reload my page, and I can see the changes taking effect. So new line in the CSS, and I want to change the font size. So I'm going to have a guess at 16 pixels. Save this, reload the page, and that's had no effect. Probably because the page is already set at 16 pixels by default. So let's try some different values here. So let's try 12. Okay, so it's much smaller, not very readable. Let's try 18. That's quite big. Let's stick at 16. Save, reload. So let's do a new line here. Okay, so I'm going to change the line height. So this is the space between the normal lines. And if you add a little line height, it just makes text a little bit more readable. So I'm choosing 1.3. So it's 1.3 the size of the font size. And it's just increased the space between the lines. So at the top of our page, we've got an H1. So I'm creating a selector for H1 and curly brackets. I want to change the font weight. So I'm going to change it from bold to normal. I want to save that, reload, and that looks quite nice. Okay, let's try changing the font size. Let's have a guess at 44 pixels. Save, reload, and see what that looks like. Okay, that's a little bit too big for me, so let's reduce this a little bit. Let's try 36. Save, reload, and that looks quite nice. Okay, we've got some other headings here. We've got an H2 and an H3 further down. So I'm creating a selector for the H2, curly brackets, and I want to change the font weight of this also to normal. Okay, so save this, reload the page, and we can see that looks quite nice.